What's up, everybody? We are live. I told you you'd laugh. I told you.
I wasn't expecting the
That's how I come into everyone. What's up, everybody? This is episode 1 of Lightsabers and Arm Bars, a show about everything MMA to a galaxy far, far away. This has been a lifelong dream for me and this douche right here. I'm pretty excited to have him here. This is Reese's Pieces. Reese, why don't you give him a little intro about yourself?
Name's Reese. Obviously. Nerd fanatic. Love comics, love movies. I love good music, not bad music.
They don't know what that means.
Good music.
What Reese means
good
by
music
that.
as in classic stuff, not this new day.
They know I play hip hop. They're on the stream.
Nerd fandom. I'm playing Pokemon Go. I'm watching movies. I'm listening to other podcasts, reading comics, doing everything nerdy all the time. Have a boring 9 to 5, so this is like an escape. I'm really glad to be here and do this. This will be fun. This is like Morgan said, a dream for us, you know. So ready to start that episode 1.
Just so you can see, Reese, we're live now. We're on.
Awesome.
All right, guys, this is going to be something a little bit different. I've obviously been making a lot of announcements about this. This is a podcast episode 1 or show episode 1, whatever we're calling it. But we've been talking about it for a week or two now on the stream here. So definitely excited to be here with it. Today we are going to be answering the chat, so if you do chat to us, I mean, I will acknowledge it, but it's kind of, if it goes along with the conversation, we'll definitely talk about it. We'll give shout outs randomly, but we're also going to have a little bit of segments and things we're going to be talking about, things we want to get in the time we have allotted for this podcast. So that's just a little bit different than normal streams. We got a lot of fun things coming up for you. First thing we got is Scrap Chat. We're going to go over everything UFC in the last week. You know, UFC Fight Night, UFC 204 coming up. UFC 205, they're announcing some of the fights. We get our full final fight card this Tuesday, so we're going to be going over a little bit of that. We're going to have Reese's Pieces, where Reese gives you a piece about everything comics. He's going to be telling us, some of the stuff he's reading, exciting things going on in that world. Basically the same thing for Scrap Chat for comics. And then finally we're going to round it off with a little bit of W3, what we're watching. And that's just a fun time to us talk about whatever on YouTube, Netflix, movies, cool things that are coming up we're watching that are influencing our lives and stuff like that. So first we're gonna get our cell phone over here, and we're gonna see.
Do it.
You gotta act like. At first you feel like it's a high school speech when you get going.
Oh, high school was fun. It really was. No.
That's what Reese leads with. High school was fun, guys. Just in case you didn't know. All right. So first thing in Scrap Chat, UFC Fight Night happened last night.
Oh man,
Reese,
Cyborg.
Reese, I know you were. Reese didn't get to catch it live, which is totally okay. He caught highlights and looked into it. Was it this morning?
Yeah. I was doing some heavy drinking last night.
Heavy drinking. By the way, guys, you should know today is our Sunday Fun Day. We have allotted to have a few things. I'm going with a Sunday Fun Day screwdriver because I'm a little wacky like that.
I'm sticking with Rebel IPAs.
And that deeper voice Reese is speaking in is not his real voice, ladies and gentlemen.
That for Rebel IPA, you gotta sound manly.
You got to come with a baritone.
Yeah. I'm doing IPAs fighting off a hangover from last night. We went through a.
He was the cyborg
case
of the
Bud Light
hangover.
and a handle of whiskey, but all good here now.
See the way you told it. See the way they're gonna hear that is that you took all that yourself.
I didn't. There was 5 other people, but I still managed to piss my pants.
That's
Even though I didn't drink all of it, I still managed to. Literally, me and another guy.
That's the best part.
There's 6 of us.
When you
3 couples. 2 of us males pissed our pants. Literally, my boxers were wet this morning, and I'm like, how are my shorts dry? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh my god.
This is like hair of the dog, having it. Rebel IPA.
When you lead first episode with "I pissed my pants last night,"
I did. My boxers are drenched. There's no way to go back.
that's just exciting for everybody. I think what we should start off with Scrap Chat. First thing I wanted to touch on, at least, was Roy Nelson, your boy Big Country. Real famous for the belly, big famous guy on our stream. I fight as him at least once a night.
Makes sense.
We
awesome.
what we started this last week is when we play as Big Country, we play AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or something.
Good music. That's a reference back to good music versus bad music. All right, go ahead.
But the first thing I'd like to talk about is, so he knocked out Bigfoot Silva. A lot of people were calling for this. Bigfoot Silva, are you familiar with Bigfoot?
Oh, absolutely.
Bigfoot has actually lost his last 6 or 7 fights all by
Dude, it's
knockout.
falling off.
Well, the situation for it is it's TRT. Once they took away TRT from sports, now once they took away testosterone replacement therapy, most athletes couldn't take it. Well, he has giantism. He actually needs TRT.
Have you seen that guy's face? It's an ugly mug. For real. It's not pretty. But great fighter.
So since then, he has had a glass chin, and every time he gets hit, it goes. It's just because he doesn't have the proper hormone production. But Big Country hit him with his big home run shot, and he did go down. Then he hit him with 3 or 4 of the shots. Although Bigfoot's hands were up, and he looked like he was defending, Roy was really mad about it. Roy then flipped off John McCarthy, then came over and gave him kind of like a little kick in the ass. But it wasn't hard, but it was hard enough that it was like clearly like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then he went on to the interview at the end and said, I wouldn't take it back if I could. So what's your thoughts on that for Big Country? What are your thoughts on fighters or players of any sport touching refs?
That shouldn't happen ever. The ref's there to do a job. That's like a thing. And Big John McCarthy is like one of the best refs outside of dude with what's the dude?
Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, and then Big John McCarthy. Those are like the mecca of refs.
On the Joe Rogan Experience or Fighter and the Kid, both you're familiar with both. Brendan Schaub, he's on them both already. And Joe Rogan talked about this just recently, actually, on their most recent Fight Companion. But they have it ranked. Most people have it Big John number 1, Herb Dean number 2, or 1 and 1. I mean, they are neck and neck. And to come at one of the best referees ever,
it's unnecessary. It's kind of it's ridiculous. Like I said, he's just there to do a job. It's not, he's definitely not biased. I've heard him talk fights after the fight. Like he did a great podcast with the Kid and the Fighter. He was talking about Conor and Diaz.
Did he do one on Fighter and the Kid?
I think so.
Or was it Joey Diaz?
Oh, no. It was TYT. I don't know. Either way, he was just talking, though, after the fight, what he actually thought of it. And he goes, no one, to me, actually won any round. They were all such great rounds that it was a pretty even fight. He did think Conor won, but to say that, it was a landslide win. He goes, that's ridiculous. Nate Diaz threw just so many blows and all that. He's a very fair ref. There's no reason to ever kick him or injure him or do anything like that. Like he's a good guy. He isn't deserving. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think a lot of people people are saying this on the message board now. People have been saying that he was mad because he was hurting Silva and he wanted it stopped earlier. I totally understand the friend point of Roy Nelson. He even says in the interview that Bigfoot's his friend, that he knows Bigfoot has a family and he wanted it stopped sooner. Totally understand that. But from the perspective, when I was watching the fight, I think it was stopped appropriately. I know he hit him with big shots, but his hands didn't go limp, and he didn't go limp until he went limp. And it's one of those things that maybe it should have been stopped sooner, like literally, like maybe Bigfoot is hurt like that, but you can't tell that. And in my opinion, Big John, his judgment is second to none. So if he didn't feel it should be stopped, Country Nelson should just go, dang it. I feel bad that I had to hit him that much, but that is his job. It's not his job to worry about when it should be stopped.
Well, the same thing, though. It's the ref's job to let, he is also in the business of making money. UFC is a huge major thing, so you let the fight go on to get more viewers.
Well, he's not
going to stop it right away. He's got to let. There could be a comeback. Who knows? What's the one?
Yeah, but they don't have any affiliation with it. They're paid by the athletic commission.
Well, yeah, but either way, just for views.
Well,
more screen time, all that. Too.
I'm sure a veteran understands the fight game and understands.
Right. Yeah. All I'm saying is, he can't stop it as soon as he thinks stop it. He has to at least give the other competitor a chance to, redeem himself.
Elite, how you doing, man? Elite's talking to us in the chat. Just wanted us to give him a quick shout. Reese, why don't you say hi to Elite Killer?
Hi, Elite Killer. Oh, that's a cool name, Elite Killer.
His name is Elite Killer 965. He's a fan of the stream. Comes here often. He's a good guy. Next thing I would like to talk about UFC Fight Night, the fights that happened last night. We did a Fight Companion for that also, guys. So you can catch that in recent episodes, and that's going up on YouTube, and this is also up on YouTube. So if you're watching this after the fact and you're on YouTube, what's up, guys? Happy to see you. Welcome to the stream and the podcast, and hit that follow button already, dang it. But back onto UFC Fight Night, Cyborg.
Oh, my God. Not fair.
The thing with Cyborg in this fight this is what it was to me. I'd heard a lot about her opponent, and people were talking it up. They're trying to honey dick us. They're trying to say, this is going to be a good fight, which they have to.
The replacement of Ronda, really. They're trying to find, because Ronda isn't fighting for a while. They're looking at Cyborg. Cyborg's the obvious.
Well, they'd have to fight at a different weight because she can't meet her at the.
No, I know that. I'm saying that Ronda has been absent for a while now. Cyborg will be your new lead to follow female. She's like your new, WWE always says their guy. She's their new guy. Like she's their new chick though.
She's their next dominant figure in women's sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
The question was coming into last night's fight was, how real was she? Is it just power? Is it you hear the jokes, Guy Borg and all these things because she's jacked and. Now that she's in the UFC, she's getting USADA testing, and what that means is she's getting tested as good as these other athletes are getting tested. And if she's passing, which she seems to be, that she is passing, that is a fierce storm to go against. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, there was a moment last night. Reese was touching on it earlier before we were talking, and he was like, you're getting your ass beat when you get shoved against the wall, and they're just kicking you in the side and throwing. I mean, talk about it a little.
She did something like this is like a fight frustration thing. She's throwing blows, literally, and the defender goes down, right, and then she shoves her to get space so she can hit her more. It was brutal. It was not. Yeah, I like Ronda being dominant. She was just as dominant in that fight. She literally shoved her and then went to go kicking the side shots right on the rib, like just repetitively. It was ridiculous. Like,
and the form was perfect too.
Oh, yeah, great.
When you got good technique with that power, it's scary to see. She's definitely hurting people. All kinds of things are going crazy. The next thing I'd like to touch on, I mean, it was UFC Fight Night, but it wasn't, it was nothing epic. Renan Barão won.
Right,
a lot of good things happened, but there's a lot of good fights coming up. The first one I want to touch on, UFC 204.
Hendo!
I mean, the question is who's not excited for this fight? I mean, we can even pull it up here. We're going to go to the old iPad and pull up the fight card and talk about a couple of the fights that are going to be coming up.
To me, this is my most anticipated fight rematch. What got me started UFC was so many years ago watching Dan Henderson knock out Bisping. To me, it is still like one of the most perfect knockouts ever. The side dip and then just the punt, perfect, and then he just lays the elbow at the end. It is like to me the mecca of like knockouts. Well, he's awesome. And then now they're having this rematch. Granted, Hendo probably doesn't deserve it. He's a lot older and stuff, and I know he's even talking about retirement after the fight.
Well, if he wins or loses,
yeah, he's retiring no matter what. But what a great way to end a career, right? I mean, Dan Henderson, he's the man. He like literally, and I honestly, I was a Bisping hater for years. And then I watched actually the fight
Rockhold.
No, not Rockhold, but what's the actual documentary called where they film the fighters before?
Oh, Embedded. UFC
Embedded. I was watching UFC Embedded, and I hate to say it, but I hated Bisping just because he was a dick on The Ultimate Fighter. But UFC Embedded, he's like a Family Guy. He's a nice guy. He's not like a dick like I thought he was. He's not like so bad. And their pre-fight conference they had, he's talking how Dan Henderson, the testosterone boost and all that. Like he's too old to do what he did the first time. He remembers it, great fight. He acknowledges it, but I don't know. Bisping was really classy when he was talking about this fight coming up. So,
well, I think for me, what I like the most about Bisping, more than the last time I've ever seen Bisping fight, when he had to fight Rockhold, one of the things that like Joe Rogan or other big fight commentators or people who were really knowledgeable of the sport kept just echoing was the fact that this guy's a legit fighter, and what that means when they mean that is like he'll fight you anywhere, anytime. He's a Donald Cerrone. He's a guy that'll show up, and he loves to scrap. That's what he wants to do. That is what he wakes up and goes, oh, dang it, it's Thursday. I don't get a fight. Damn it. And he's one of those guys, and so that's why everyone said, hey, Luke Rockhold shouldn't sleep. They're 4-ounce gloves. Chins get cracked. People go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And when you see Michael Bisping do that, you go, that's pretty cool. But then here's another thing that I looked back. If you look back at Michael Bisping's previous losses, and if you look at people who maybe have been since caught with steroids or caught with TRT, the list is full of them. Think about it. Vitor Belfort. TRT, Vitor is one of the scariest Vitors ever. Bisping lost to him while he was on TRT. Hendo, big TRT guy.
Yeah, he mentioned it in the pre.
And you can just go down the list and down the list. So maybe if there was USADA testing for all these last 10 years, maybe we're looking at Michael Bisping going, hey, this guy's crazy. Because he is clean as it gets, got nothing but gas. His cardio is amazing. Technique's real good. it's one of those things where you that guy might be one of the best fighters if there is no steroids in TRT. So once you see now that they've eliminated that, it's kind of impressive to see him just evolving and him now at the limelight. Now that he's the commentator, a grown man with a family, who would have thought he'd be in his prime this late in his career?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bisping. I don't know how to say. I literally did not like Bisping. I hate him, but like you gotta admire the guy for what he's went through. Like like you said, all those opponents that he's faced, that he's lost to, had the TRT like thing going on, and he mentions it in his pre-conference with Dan Henderson. He goes, Dan's jacked up on testosterone and blah blah blah, and I doesn't have that this fight. This fight will be different from the previous one because that was allowed back then, and now with all that, he can't do the testosterone replacement. So it's kind of like. This team was saying it's going to be a different fight. It won't happen again. It won't happen the same way. But who knows? I mean, anything can happen. I think Dan Henderson also, it's his last fight.
Hendo's got the H-bomb. Could always happen.
He is prepared to end that night and walk out, no matter what. So it's kind of like anything can happen. I don't think he is thinking about that shot 10 years ago or whenever it was, but...
Another great fight that's going to be on that card. Vitor Belfort actually is fighting again, and he hasn't looked good in any of his last fights since he's been off the TRT. But he goes against Gegard Mousasi, who's really good. I mean, he's a really good guy. He's got a lot of great skills. He's one of those guys that if you weren't a real fight fan, you probably wouldn't know him. But inside the fight community, he's a dangerous guy, very dangerous guy. He's fighting against Vitor, so that's going to be real interesting. I don't know how to call that one, honestly, considering... Once you have TRT Vitor, right. And then after that, he hasn't had a really good chin or anything.
Yeah.
So
it's really hard to vote against Vitor Belfort. It's really hard to vote against one, but like you said, track record shows that he's not doing too hot. So maybe I don't know. But the UFC 204 is going to be a great.
Well, we also got Ovince St. Preux versus Jimmy Manuwa. Ovince St. Preux, people would remember he faced John Jones in his most previous fight. John Jones comeback, and he proved he could go 5 rounds with a John Jones. And what that proved to everybody is that Ovince St. Preux for real. So this will be. I look for him to come out and really mess up Jimmy Manuwa. Even though Jimmy's a very good fighter, all respect to him. I think OSP's here to prove that hey, that wasn't a fluke with John Jones for 5 rounds. I'm the real deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, shout out to those guys. They're fighting so late that night. They are across.
You're right. That's going to be.
They're fighting very late. Like Bisping and Hendo, they were talking how they. Bisping is his home country. He's like, all the bars are sold out and all that, and we're literally gonna fight at probably 3 a.m. and that's that's gonna weigh in on fighters. Can you imagine having to go to a fight at 3 a.m, let alone having to go to a fight, the nerves and all that? But at 3, that's late.
Well, you're gonna have to train your body to be peaking at a completely different time.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just gonna be a unique situation, but I mean it's awesome. We get to watch it here prime time in States, but
I mean, is it in Manchester? Is that where it's at?
Yeah, Manchester's.
Well, and wherever it is, I'm pretty sure it's Manchester, but it's over in Bisping's hometown, and Bisping's never lost there, so that's a good thing to keep in mind. Every time he's fought there, he's had that hometown pride. We saw this most recently with Stipe Miocic at Cleveland. Fighters, when they go home, sometimes really find that second gear. Now, I know Fabricio Verdum lost when he went home to Brasilia to face Stipe Miocic. Homie got slept, but that's just one occasion. There's other good fights in there. Stefan Struve, the 7-footer, he's coming back. A lot of good fights for 204. But I think the fight community, and this might just be me. If you're in the chat and you're listening right now and you have some other fights you'd like to see, please talk about these because we're going to talk about them right now. UFC 205, the announcements are coming out. We're embarking on the announcement phase where they're kind of telling us, who's fighting, who they think's fighting. And this last week, Conor McGregor and Eddie Alvarez was all the talk. That was going to be the fight that happens. Now, here's what had happened with it is Conor accepted the fight, and Eddie wanted more money. The UFC goes, wait, we're offering you Madison Square Garden for the first time ever in a main event against Conor McGregor, the #1 pay-per-view buy. And you're in the main event, and you want more money?
Yeah.
Nah, fuck it. We'll give you Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now, Khabib Nurmagomedov he's like the one fight no one wants to fight in that weight division. And, it's it's a tough fight for Eddie. It's a tough fight for anybody. So he kind of fucked himself and shot himself in the foot. So now no one knows, is McGregor at 205? Is McGregor not fighting at 205?
If he does, it'll sell out like crazy. McGregor is the top draw right now. No one can outclass him technically when it comes to ordering pay-per-views to watch Conor.
And so it is crazy that Eddie would ask for more money when he's been given, because look at Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz took the first fight on shit money, took the second fight and made millions of dollars. The point is you take, when you get your opportunity to shine, you don't not take it. You don't just say, I don't want it. That's not what you do. That also being said, there's some other great fights at it. Frankie Edgar is going to fight against Jeremy Stevens.
That'd be a good fight.
That's going to be exciting to see. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is defending her title, so that's going to be fun. The biggest fight right now is Tyron Woodley versus Wonderboy. You're right. You look like you're having.
I got piss.
Well, this is a podcast, man. Get up and let it out.
Woo!
He's over here just looking like he's about to burst, and I'm like, let it out, man. Have a good time. Either way, we're live, and the show must go on. Like I was saying, with UFC 205, we don't know what's really going on. I feel like I have to share this with you guys. I think that my co-host has gotten a little sick. I think he maybe had a little bit too much to drink last night. He's fighting it off and is having a fun time this morning. I'm not sure, but he has left our post and has ran to the bathroom. And it sounds like some explosions are going off. Who knows what's going on there? My question to you, Chad, is who do you think's fighting at UFC 205? I know they've announced a lot of fights, and a lot of fights seem like they're real. Donald Cerrone's not going to be fighting Robbie Lawler. That one's pretty rough. We lost that fight, so now it's Kelvin Gastelum. And it's a great fight. I think it's going to be an impressive fight for Kelvin. I think if he can come away with the win there, it's going to be pretty exciting, and that should be something we're looking forward to. Now, one of the biggest things I wanted to bring up today, and one of the big parts that we'll touch on once Reese catches back with us, is Ronda Rousey has been getting offered fight contracts for the first time since the head kick. And we all remember the head kick. The head kick was pretty brutal. Holly Holm hit that shit so hard that Ronda Rousey went on TV and cried, and even had some suicidal thoughts. And I'm not making light of that or making fun of that. It's when you're in the octagon, some shit can happen. This is her first time maybe coming back, and I think we're all looking to see how that works out. Is she going to come back? Is she going to be the same fighter? Is she going to have that same ferocity, that same confidence, or is she going to be timid the whole time? And against Amanda Nunes, let me tell you, folks, that is not an easy competition. She made quick work of Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate has been one of the hardest fights for a lot of fighters, including Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey just doesn't run through her necessarily. It's a fight. She's got her with the armbar a few times. And Amanda Nunes, first round, just destroyed her. I'll tell you that's just the most interesting thing. I'll tell you what, though, guys, this is the funniest thing. It looks like the co-host maybe just KO'd. I'm not sure what has happened in the bathroom, but it doesn't sound pretty. But we are live, and we're live on Twitch, so we have to share what's going on with you guys. So if you guys are wondering where this guy is, we're all wondering. We're all figuring it out as we go. But hey, we all have rough nights, don't we? I know in a little bit we're gonna dive into Reese's pieces, but
the roughest of nights.
The roughest of nights. Reese is going through a few little things. A little bit.
Keep my brain down.
Okay, it is confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. Reese did get up to he had to blow chunks. Elite, I'm not going to check on my friend. He just opened the door. He is fine. He's just blowing chunks. A little too much of Saturday night drinking festivities. Got the best of them. So Sunday fun day, he had to bail out quick for a couple seconds. And, it's not live until something like this happens because, gosh dang it, that's the funniest thing humanly possible. Oh.
Alcohol. Hell of a drug. Wow. So Sorry guys, I cannot hold that in. I had to puke my brains out. I do
So
not.
let's talk.
I'm a little sweaty now.
So guys, guys, I gotta talk to you about a few things.
I'm sorry, I probably smell like puke.
No,
Sorry.
you don't. So there was about 5 or 10 minutes there. I'm looking over at Reese and I'm like, dude, he looks pretty. He looks pretty
Guys,
terrible.
Like the hair of the dog concept of having a beer the next morning. It's supposed to work. Didn't work for me. I literally was. Dude. Oh my god.
And I look at him and I'm like, oh my god, he's got to puke. Like he's got to let it out. So I'm like, hey, do you need to get up?
For our first episode and a first premiere for me, there's no way, better way to do it than just go puke in the middle of the podcast, obviously. So
And he gets up and like, let me tell you guys, I knew long before he was puking that he was puking because when he got in there was a splat. I don't know if my floor got hit, but it's totally possible.
No, it's all clean in there. I wiped it all up, but okay. I'm really sorry, guys. That was
it's fantastic because it's live, and that is a fantastic thing we got to see.
Yeah, puking on the.
There's no real way. Like the first thing is, I just want to give myself a quick pat on the back because
you carried it when I was gone.
Because the second you got up, I go, oh shit. We're almost done with Scrap Chat. Follow if you haven't already, guys. The biggest thing about it is there's not much ways to prepare for, oh God, your partner's blowing chunks.
That's stuff like I have some.
The last subject I really want your opinion on. Are you good?
Oh, I'm good.
You're
now.
good now.
Good
You're
now.
good.
Fresh human being.
Okay. So, Elite Killer wants chocolate. I want you to know that.
Reese's Pieces, peanut butter cups.
He just says I want chocolate. I'm not sure what type. I'm here to help him, but he's not helping me help him. It's whatever though. But that being said, the last UFC point that I think we should touch on is it is reported that Ronda Rousey is going to make her comeback at UFC 206 or 207 against Amanda Nunes. I would love to hear your thoughts on. You guys should know. Let me preface it real quick. Reese is the fan. When you're talking about the dude beating his meat using a little spit friction in the back corner over a fighter, that's Reese to Ronda Rousey. It's his girl. It's his home girl. And after she lost, I'm not joking. I, being the fan that I am, I watched that fight the second it happened again. I rewatched everything. Reese couldn't. It took him days. So what are your thoughts about her return?
That fight, reference real quick. So we're watching the fight with Ronda and Holly.
I'm gonna make another Sunday Fun Day.
It's my turn to carry it, so.
I'm gonna make another Sunday Fun Day. Screwdriver. That's how I had to lead off.
I'm watching that fight, and everyone else is watching it. We had like 6 or 8 people here, and the fight's done, and most fights people always talk about it afterwards, and I'm sitting there just quiet, can't handle it. I just watched my favorite fighter get knocked out. Couldn't believe it. Wasn't real life to me. Ronda and Conor right now, like those are my favorite fighters, and I'm watching, and she's just getting destroyed, and it's the hardest thing in the world to sit there and watch one of your favorite fighters just, Ronda doesn't have a strike game really. Compared to Holly Holm, like at all, a strike game. She's judo fighter. She prefers the ground. And it was just hard to watch. And it's been a year now since we've seen her, like almost. By the time she comes back, I think UFC 206 is in December.
206 or 207.
206 is December. 207 I think is January. But it'd be awesome to see her fight this year. Hit that card, and the other fight, once again, another pay-per-view seller is going to be Ronda Rousey, but oh man, that girl needs to get over those. You can tell she's fearful. She's talking suicide with Ellen DeGeneres. She's talking, she hates how she lost because Ronda, her vision, she's even said this, was to go undefeated, retire, walk off in the sunset, like completely unblemished. That didn't happen. Holly Holm knocked her out. And now when she comes back, the question is, who's she going to fight? Like, we don't know. Is she going to go
No, we know
Holly
who she's
Holm
fighting.
and Ronda too? We know who she's fighting?
It's Amanda Nunes, the title holder.
But that's not confirmed, though. So I don't know. I mean,
that's the fight. She's been offered that contract.
She has her title.
Your eyes look like you're
look
puking.
like yeah.
That's the funniest thing. You look like a heart of a warrior right now.
Hey, the show goes on, right?
Yeah, I think the big thing with Ronda Rousey is going to be just, do we get the same Ronda, is this is this a do nothing bitch Ronda Rousey, or is this the
got knocked down on suicide.
yeah, that's
we don't know.
That's going to be the quick question. Hunt versus Jones. I don't know if they're going to make that fight Elite Killer. I think it's going to be Miocic versus Jones. If any fight with John Jones happens here in the next few minutes, that's not Daniel Cormier. And God, do we all want that?
I don't think that fight's happening.
I don't either.
I think poor Daniel Cormier. Talk about a guy who that dude didn't even do anything wrong, and he hasn't been able to fight Jones to redeem himself at all. And poor guy, he's miserable. He can't even get the fight set.
What we're gonna do here is, and that's probably gonna be the end of the old scrap chat. Also, hit the follow button if you guys haven't hit the follow button already. Go on over to Twitter, Morgan_James13. Hit the follow button on that biatch or as
Morgan
well.
James. Sounds like the little fan video.
LeBron James.
Yeah, Morgan Giant.
So definitely hit the follow button there if you have not already. And what we're going to move on to now is our second segment. This is going to be called Reese's Pieces, where he gives us a piece, a little bit of everything comics. And what that means is we're obsessed with, obviously, Star Wars, our Green Lantern blanket here, our pop stars. We got Sting, Batman, Conor McGregor, and a couple comics down here. We're obsessed with really two subjects when we talk. We talk MMA and we talk comics. And we thought how cool would it be to mix those two, because there's not really a platform where people are talking about both of those, and they're not comparing fighters to comic characters. And we do it all the time. It's super fun for us, and we're hoping it's a good time for you guys. And if it's not, suck a dick. That's how I feel about that. Moving on. Reese, what do you got us for Reese's Pieces today? And yes, in the chat, if you want to refer to him as Pieces, that's how most people do, and the ladies love it.
Yeah, sure. No. Reese's Pieces. Here's what we're doing. I'm going to, this is gonna be weekly. I'm gonna talk comics, things that I'm actually reading this week. And in honor,
some big comics have come out. Right?
Yeah. Big, yeah. And in honor of the Batman Day, which was last Saturday.
Mm-hmm. We played Batman the Tell-All series for Batman Day. Look at that in recent videos on the Twitch, Morgan_James.
There you go. Yeah. So in honor of that, I went to the comic book store, and there's a new series that I had not bought. But it's Batman All-Star Batman, I should say. And I picked up the first 2 issues, and I've read it, and you can see them right here. Anyway, they're written by Scott Snyder, no relation to Zack Snyder. And there's an interview with him, and he's talking about him, and he tackled Batman for the last 5 years. He's done the whole Batman series. In it, he introduced the Court of Owls.
Can I pause you real quick?
Go ahead.
Elite Killer owns the second Batman comic. I want to give Elite a shout out for that, but then I got a couple of the people that talk in the chat are regulars since day one, and my boy Mickey's in the fucking house, y'all. I want to give a quick interruption for Mickey. He
Absolutely.
also says Mickey says he's a huge Batman fan. I want you to proceed, but Mickey, what up, though?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Batman.
He says he roots for the bad guys, but who doesn't?
No, and that's the thing. So this interview with Scott Snyder, the writer, he is like, I got to do Court of Owls and I got to do Joker in the first Batman series, but I didn't get to tackle those other villains that Batman's so famous for. Batman has probably the best rogue gallery outside of Spider-Man. And these
rogue gallery stands for the bad guys, yo.
villains, yes, his villains. So literally though, these 2 issues here are all dealing with Two-Face, Scarecrow. There's a lot of there's a Firefly. There's all types of these weird villains that are like C-D-list villains. And he's tackling them because he goes, I didn't get to do all the villains I want to do, so I'm just writing this one single series and tackling that. Really good issue. Elite Killer. Have I read Deadpool Kills Marvel Universe? I own that book. That is a great book. That is
why don't we dive into that for a minute? Because one thing you guys should know about the episode and the show here, we have segments and we have things we are going to cover, but we like to go anywhere with it, so feel free to add to the chat.
Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, I think, is it's a short book, but it's a perfect book because you know what? It does this thing. Deadpool is known for breaking the fourth wall, and that book breaks the fourth wall. At the very end of the book, he's killing the writers who wrote the book, which is like so mind blowing. It's like it's a fun little book. Now the way he kills everyone, that's to be argued with. Like I don't know how you kill Galactus and a couple other guys. Like and Wolverine would be a hard one to kill since he regenerates the same way Deadpool does. But great book. Marvel Kills the Deadpool Universe. Amazing. Deadpool, probably the best comic book movie this year.
Oh, for sure. I mean, honestly, we have Ryan Reynolds' face here, and it's him as
Never
Green
been
Lantern.
Green Lantern. He's meant to be.
But I think it's kind of like one of those things. In spirit, it's Deadpool.
Yeah. Like I love Batman vs Superman. I know a lot of people didn't. I really like Civil War. I like a lot of those movies, but like the best comic book of the year is Deadpool. I saw that one in the theater 3 times. Like it's hit the character on so many levels. Ryan Reynolds did a great job of portraying that character, and it'd be really cool to get a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe with Ryan Reynolds doing it. But you know, character rights and all that can't happen. What's it saying? He killed the ideas for the. Oh, thank you, Elite Killer. That was nice of you. But yeah, I think that's a great book that you should go read it. Go buy it at a local comic book store. Marvel Comes Deadpool Universe.
So coming back to pieces, give us a piece of what's going on in comics this week. What would you say are the biggest hits that you knew?
Oh, that was outside of All Star Batman. There is All Star Batman, and then other Batman news. Really, the movie The Batman. A couple weeks ago, we have Deathstroke. That is our main villain for the new Batman standalone film.
Who is that again? What's
Deathstroke?
the name? What's the name?
that is Mr. Slade Wilson.
No, I'm saying who's playing Deathstroke.
Joe Manganiello, which I don't know. So I butchered his last name, but I think if you guys have seen Magic Mike,
Yeah, that's the least. I would say the easiest one to probably know him from. I would probably say here's a couple people he's been in. One of the Spider-Man movies, he was the mean jock that Peter Parker gets in a fight with.
oh my god, that's before the beard and the long
Yeah,
hair.
that's
a long time
That's
ago.
that guy. He was also in True Blood.
That's probably his most famous thing.
Famous for that character. He was also in One Tree Hill. Have you ever watched that show? He's been in a lot of shows, but he's a jacked, beefed up dude, real cutie pie. Just married Sofia Vergara.
What's his nickname? Magic Mike? Big Dick John.
Yeah, and he's the guy that plays with Hog on Magic
Hog.
Mike 1 and 2. And yet again, I'm sorry to interrupt. A hog.
He does the he seduces the whatever the chick in the gas station. He's like humping the shit and all that. Yeah, that's him. That's
By the way, did you see? Have you watched America's Got Talent? Right?
Occasionally.
Did you see the winner?
No.
That little girl who sung the song.
Oh, wait, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she is on an episode of Jimmy Fallon. I know you love that show, and I love that show.
I think I watched this. Go ahead.
And they're playing the Chubby Bunny challenge, basically, where you put a bunch of marshmallows in your mouth. And you have to sing a song, and they have to guess it. So they do it and everything. And Jimmy Fallon does his, and he gets to bye bye bye, and he's doing bop bop bop. Bop, 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 and he does it 1,000 times. She can't guess it, and he spits it out, and he's like, bye, 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 and it was like supposed to be obvious, and she's younger, right? And she goes, bye, 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 who's that? And Jimmy Fallon's just like, oh, I'm so old.
Oh, yeah.
The second bye, bye, bye becomes old, all of us are like, oh, God.
90s nostalgia.
Yeah,
We're
90s
gonna hit that
nostalgia.
later.
Don't worry, guys, that's a little precursor.
Yeah. Anyway, Joe, he's gonna be Deathstroke. I talk like I know him. But I'm excited.
Joe's a good guy.
I'm excited for the character because
Last time I talked to Joe, real good guy.
yeah, big hog. Big hog.
Yet again, I say, a hog.
Yeah, huge. Anyway, Deathstroke's been on Arrow, the TV show, which the best seasons were 1 and 2. Now it kind of sucks.
Slade Wilson.
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Slade Wilson, I'm excited for it. I think Batman. I think that is a perfect villain to tackle for a movie because we've had so many. We've had Two-Face twice. We've had Joker 3-4 times. We've had a couple of. Original.
I would say this. This is my personal opinion on it. I'm not pumped too much about Deathstroke, just in the fact that I am an Arrow fan and I've already got a healthy dose of Slade. I am pumped for it in cinematic universe because we all know that it gets deeper, better, bigger. I mean, it's kind of like a porno.
Yeah, bigger, deeper. Hog, Joe.
Hog. That being said, hashtag hog. Tweet me that, please. That being said, I do like though that they went out of the normal villains.
Yeah, they picked. I mean,
they didn't revamp.
So yeah, Arrow has Deathstroke, right? And Deathstroke.
Well, they opened up the DC universe, I think.
Yes, Deathstroke is traditionally a Batman villain, so it makes sense to have him there. Now, a lot of the talk, though, is he going to be like the main villain, the one controlling all the strings? Probably not. Deathstroke's an assassin to hire. People do all that. I would personally like to see Joker as the main end all be all. Maybe hire Deathstroke and do all that. Now I know.
Hashtag already been done.
When?
All the time. I've seen so much of the Joker. I don't need to see anymore.
Your biggest complaint Suicide Squad was there wasn't. I mean, you said Joker. So I personally think that it is very hard to judge the Joker in Suicide Squad because there's 8 minutes of screen time. I like that Joker. That Joker is the closest Joker to the comics we've ever seen. He had a Scarface mentality, kind of a, I don't know. You're going to go on a rant, aren't you?
No.
It's going to happen?
I don't have the rant because, I do believe it's everyone's opinion, and their opinion is the right. Me, personally, when I saw that version of Joker, I love Jared Leto. I love the Joker. I love everything about it. It just didn't work for me. I did not like that rendition. I'm not saying that he did not look aesthetically more like the Joker ever. I'm not saying that his mannerisms weren't identical to the Joker. It did not mesh well to me. All the combination of it all, I never got Joker out of it. I got meth.
Really? Got meth. Even the part where he jumps off into the acid pit, that's straight from the comics. Like, you didn't. When he's talking to Margot Robbie, he goes, "Will you die for me? Will you love for me?"
Mickey, yes, we're talking about the Batman movie that Ben Affleck is writing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, did I not mention that? Yeah, Batman.
He asked if it was that one. Keep going.
Directing and starring. Yes.
So as we were saying though, and that's not to say I hated the Joker. There was good moments of the Joker. What I'm saying is
that acid pit stuff, some of the best moments. Like would you die for me? Would you live for me? Like all that. That is like 100% Joker from the comics. If you actually read the comics, Jared Leto pretty much nailed it.
But you have to realize something though.
And for the tattoo thing, a lot of fans don't know that. The Joker's never had tattoos. Well, that's not true because there is a couple of Batman issues where he had a full back tattoo. He has a huge back tattoo of a dragon. Like, tattoos are not out regular. I think it matches well for this universe because the meth thing, like you're saying, how would Joker be in real life? He would be a crime lord.
So here's my best way of describing it. If you were to text me something or to say it out loud, they would be the same exact message, but said completely different. I feel like they took the Joker's comic, literal written words and character and tried to put that in a real life scenario. And I just think that they missed the whole point of the words. I don't know, context.
Maybe, yeah.
It was like he was reading off a script, and the whole time they said, "Hey, you get another dose."
My thing is though, it was only 8 minutes, man.
Oh, Elite Killer saying his Joker was shit.
What are you saying? That's okay. I understand. There's only 8.
That's right, Elite. That's right.
8 minutes of the Joker though. Like you can't really judge him.
I've had longer. I've had less with a lot of ex-boyfriends than 8 minutes, and let me tell you what, you can find out a lot in 8 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think for a Batman solo film, it could work. In small doses. We haven't seen enough of them, right? Give him another shot.
Well, I mean, does that mean that the next Batman movie would suck and that Joker would suck again? No. Would I go watch it? Would they get my hard-earned American dinero dollars, which doesn't make any sense what I just said? Yes, they would get all of it.
Right.
The point being...
And let's be honest, Ben Affleck is Batman? Surprise, right? Everyone.
Oh, Mickey making it a little more hot. Mickey says, in case anybody in the chat is not reading the chat, if you're catching this on YouTube, Mickey is saying, I like Jared Leto Joker, but it was a bit too Hollywood for me. And sorry, Mickey, I'm sorry I'm throwing you in such a shout out because this will go on YouTube, but suck a dick, Mickey. Love you, bro. That being said,
yeah, I understand.
I think we scratch it because we're at the point of there needs to be more to come. We're at only speculation at this point. If Jared Leto crushes it in the next one, then, we're all dickheads. Point being, Christian Bale and Batman Begins suck dick. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say.
It's one of the best Batman
films.
Batman
not.
Begins.
It's not. For you, for like the hardcore, or for like the people who are like sucking.
Slobbing the knob. I'm gulping the balls.
Sucking the shit off.
You didn't even do it justice. Your mouth was big enough. Your mouth was not big enough there.
Off of like Stan Lee and everybody who writes.
That's
my point
Marvel.
is, yes, I know. I'm saying off the people who write these, that's you, and I'm cool with it. I'm all down with it. Up top. That being said, though, we just don't know yet, and we're gonna find out.
That's fair. I come full circle. Ben Affleck.
I always like to come full circle.
Ben Affleck as Batman was like probably the best part of Batman.
What do you think of that movie, The Accountant, coming out with the old Ben?
Looks great. Honestly,
great.
It kind of looks like his boyfriend Matt Damon type of movie, like an accountant style of spy thing. Looks like a Jason Bourne thing, but I think it looks great. And I trust Ben Affleck with directing this and acting as Batman.
Elite Killer says, that's true. There was no actual Joker feel to me. He was tatted up and trying to be modern. I wanted more darker death of the family as, he wanted more of the Joker that I think I wanted. You wanted that cryptic, dark.
He's talking death. The Elite Killer, Death of the Family. You are talking Joker kills Robin.
Wait, one second.
Right?
Originals. What this is we stream Monday through Friday here. We usually talk UFC, usually talk MMA. We also stream some comic book games. This is our once a week podcast, Lightsabers and Arm Bars, a show about everything MMA to a galaxy far, far away. Hit that follow button. Hang out with us, my man.
Back to the Death of the Family. You're talking
DJ shout out.
Yeah. You did great job. Nice plug. Anyway. The Death of the Family, that was kind of hinted in Batman vs Superman. There was the Robin suit, and in Suicide Squad, if you're looking really closely, you can see that Harley Quinn had on her file that Robin was killed by her and Joker. That is actually really Death of the Family, like, in that movie. But that's side note. But yeah, I agree with you. You wanted a darker Joker. After what Heath Ledger did with the Joker.
That's
game changing. It's really hard for anyone to follow that up. Because,
so a good example is I'm a huge LeBron James fan, and LeBron James has dominated the NBA for the last so many years.
Sorry.
And the thing about that is, and it doesn't mean about your opinion, and I'm not trying to say to people who think, LeBron sucks, or that you could be right, you could be wrong. The whole point of it is he's been in the finals. You look like you're on my shoulder.
I'm just reading. He's talking. He goes out to color everyone.
But the long story short is once Michael Jordan dominated the NBA to the level that he dominated the NBA, I think Heath Ledger dominated Joker to the level that Michael dominated the NBA. So I just don't think there's room for anybody to do any better or even a matchup because it's already been done to the perfection level. Heath Ledger's Joker was what I meant by context, he was the real-life version. Why would you be scared in real life? You can't put the comic version in comic life.
It worked. It did really well. I think the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, it's nothing like the comic, but it works so well because it was real-life scary. Mm-hmm. Back to what Elite Killer was saying. Elite Killer just said he wants to kill everyone to all that. Elite Killer, you're not wrong. In my opinion... I kind of saw some of that, though, when he's just talking to the guy in the strip club or whatever, and then Mark Robbie's dancing, and he goes, hit that screwdriver up. Don't puke like that.
Hey, guys, Sunday Funday screwdriver. Not puking like this guy.
Yeah, oh my god, I blew my brains out. Anyway, that scene, though, in Suicide Squad, he talks to Common, the actor, rapper, was in that, and he's like, he just blows his brains out right there because he didn't want to have sex with Harley Quinn, which is his girlfriend, kind of weird. That's kind of like the Joker, though. The Joker has a weird mentality in the comic. He has a very, it would turn him on to see his girlfriend with someone else, which any guy with a fucking normal brain would not agree with, but that he kills him, shoots him, blind.
You just singled out a lot of guys that like to get freaky.
Yeah. Anyway, like that showed me personally he would kill anyone at any time. I mean, I don't know. I kind of agree. What'd you say? Either that or I'd like. Oh, Cesar Romero. Yeah, you know what? That would be cool. I think that campy 66 Batman was great for the time. Wouldn't work today at all. But the Cesar Romero character, the Joker, yeah, I'd like to see that. I think that would be a interesting take on it. The Joker needs to have jokes, right? Be more funny. I get that. Jared Leto's was not really funny at all. I think they were going for a darker tone. They just kind of missed. Anyways, back to the whole. We will see in the future how he does. Next bit on Reese's Pieces.
We're moving on, folks. That means no more bullshit about Batman. I don't want to hear his name. I don't want to hear the Joker. Fuck it all. No, I'm kidding. I love him.
My next bit, Reese's Pieces. There is a movie coming out next year, and it is called...
Only one movie all next year. Yes. That's it. I tell you what, if you want to see two, you're fucked. It's a bad year for it.
And it is called, no joke, Saban's Power Rangers. I don't know why I had to use the name, but whatever. It is Power Rangers. We got a Power Rangers movie coming to us.
Yeah.
This-
that long introduction. You guys wondering? No. Either way, Elite Killer, we love you here, my man. Keep going. Power Rangers.
Power Rangers happening next year. A lot of people look at this movie as a joke because the first Power Rangers.
Because it's Power Rangers.
Yes. Now, if you're a '90s kid, nostalgia. This is where that comes into play.
It's Morphin' Time.
Hits ya. Everyone loved Power Rangers growing up in the '90s. That was the show to watch. There's girls doing Pink Rangers. There's guys being Tommy, the blue, the red, the white, green, all that. Anyway, this movie's coming out, and it looked at like it's kind of a joke. Everyone's like, "Oh, another Power Rangers movie." Like the first two sucked. The first one did okay. The second one sucked. But they got some major talent. They have
Now, Elite, I want you to hear.
Stop time.
I want you to hear what Reese is about to be saying, because a lot of the reason why people think this movie is going to be shit is they think the movie is going to be a Power Ranger movie, and what he's gonna be telling you, what he's gonna be talking to you about is they've hired some serious actors that make this movie legit, and it has a legit script right now. And if you follow movies close enough, all it needs is a legit cast, a legit score,
Right.
and a legit
Well,
skit.
here's the thing though. They're going darker. It's not gonna be the kids show where they're fighting in skin tight suits.
There's not going to be the sparks.
No,
when
they
hit with
actually
the
have
sword.
like Iron Man like uniforms that they're wearing. And what is the they cast so well. They did Rita Repulsa, technically a main Power Ranger villain. Who is the actress? I can't think of her name. The actress that's in Pitch Perfect, the female Anchorman.
Anna Kendrick.
No. The Anchorman. She's doing the announcement thing with like, oh, Bob, this is a boy. Blonde hair.
The hot chick?
Yes. What's her name?
I don't know her name, but she's in it.
She's Rita Repulsa. That was like their first huge casting.
Oh, K-Rice is in the building, y'all. He says Ivan Ooze was the shit. Hold your
I
tongue.
was the shit.
K-Rice, what up? That is our friend
Kyle-
Kai. How's it going, man? I bet you got a big dong on you.
They cast her and they cast Bryan Cranston, which Walter White, Breaking Bad, as Zordon. That is going to be perfect.
Now here's my question. And I just want to see. Why do you think that's going to be perfect? And I'm not here to argue. What I'm saying is,
so there's a formula. I don't give a fuck. You have a formula. You have a formula, right? You get big name actors for roles that are important. What is the Power Rangers about? It's about the Power Rangers, right? They cast 5 unknowns. Now, most people would say that doesn't make sense, but if you look at all movies that are like, all right, we have Thor. They cast Chris Hemsworth. Nobody at the time. No name. It's easy to cast. Go back to 1978. They cast Superman. Christopher Reeve. They picked the model. And like,
well, yeah, I mean,
you
sex.
cast unknowns and it works for the main roles, but then you have to have the talent in the background.
It's sex sells, and so think of it as a fight card.
Right.
So you put your Conor McGregor's on there for sure. You give your sexy thing, but you make sure you put legit fighters on there as well.
The last fight we had, Conor. Everyone's looking at the Conor fight, but everyone forgets that Anthony Rumble Johnson had a fucking knockout that was amazing, and that.
So Elite Killer's telling Kyle to come over here and spank me, and as my boy Conor McGregor said to Nate Diaz before he spanked him, I'm gonna tell Kyle, you'll do fucking nothing all day.
I'm gonna give it to you just because you have red hair, so Irish. Anyway, Power Rangers. Power Rangers dropped some posters. It's all the Power Rangers on their Zordons.
Did they pick them up?
Their trips. No, they picked them up. Hard. They picked them up and put them on their fucking droids, their machines that create the ultimate droid. Anyway, there was supposed to be a trailer drop.
The fucking
Megazords. Yes, they have their Megazords.
There wasn't that the shit too. He'd be like, he'd be playing. Remember when he played that fucking like
flute?
Piccolo flute? She's
yes.
Like,
yes. Anyways,
and this motherfucker comes out of the sea like. And you're just like, fuck yeah, Green Ranger, man.
White.
No, but when the green did it.
No, I know, but the white's better.
I know, I'll get to the white. And then they're like, oh, you didn't like just your shoulder pads that we gave you extra, which were the shit.
Here's a talking sword.
Here's a talking sword, because he had a dagger. And there's a fucking, like, I don't know if it's a panda, a white bear, what it is. Saber-tooth type.
Sorry.
Well, that fucker's just coming at him, and he's like, it's Morphin' Time. Bam! And he hits you with that Goku Kamehameha stance.
Absolutely awesome. But the thing is, though, that was great, right? they're gonna have a darker movie. It's gonna be a darker movie. It's gonna be not.
Is it Elizabeth Banks?
Thank you. I cannot think of that name. Elizabeth.
The
Banks.
Rock.
Anyway, she is.
God damn it! Thank you,
Rita
family.
Repulsa, and if you don't find Elizabeth Banks attractive, you're crazy. Because I think, God.
If you don't find Elizabeth Banks attractive, yeah, ISIS. It's off the fighting the kid.
All right. Yeah. I'm not gonna touch that. Anyway. It's gonna be a different movie. It's gonna be definitely darker, and it's gonna be more. What they're trying to do, they've even said this. The studio heads have said this. They are aiming for those 90 kids audiences that are now 20-year-olds. They are going for a darker film that will be. They're all in Iron Man suits. They're making it look like it's gonna be an Iron Man. It's gonna be a Godzilla. You know what's gonna be? It's Pacific Rim. It's gonna be just like Pacific Rim.
I fucking loved Pacific Rim. Jax, shout out.
Second movie announced. FYI.
Sons of Anarchy.
What?
What do you mean? Pacific Rim has a second movie?
Oh, it's coming.
All
next year.
day.
Pacific Rim.
Do they got the same guy?
No.
They don't have
They don't have Charlie
Jax.
Hunnam.
I don't care, but do they have the black dude?
Yes.
Fuck yeah, we back in it.
Idris Elba.
We back in it.
With probably outside of Rocky and Rocky Balboa giving the speech of like, you know, you gotta do it for you, you know. It's probably the best speech ever in a movie. Pacific Rim when he gives the
Yeah.
we
it's
fight
pretty
today,
good.
we die tomorrow, yeah, all that. That is like this shit. We got.
I just want to say one thing, Elite. Kyle knows where I live. He's talking shit.
Oh, is Kyle on his way?
Pacific Rim was dope, Mickey. Mickey, you the shit, dog.
Right. Anyway, Power Rangers, very Pacific Rim-esque. That's how it's gonna be. You know, and I like those fight monster movies. I mean, has anyone watched the Skull Island King Kong trailer?
I'm saying because I was about to lead into Godzilla versus King
And
Kong.
that is happening.
Shut the front door.
The studio of I think it's Universal has the
Ah,
rights.
Elba is my dude.
Idris Elba. He's like the
Bro, Mickey, look at this shit. It's Green Lantern right here. That's Ryan Reynolds from Green Lantern. He just mentioned Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Bro, we be on that shit.
Idris Elba. I just started 2 nights ago, not last night, because obviously I drank too much, so I puked.
Dude, can we spend 5 seconds on that? Literally out of nowhere.
Just time out real quick though. Idris Elba. I started watching Luther with Idris Elba starring. First episode is amazing. Ricky Bobby shaking, yeah, absolutely.
Shake and bake. We shake it.
You're not
bake
finished your last. What? All right. Go ahead. What were you talking about? My puking?
Dude, I just want to say, there was
hard.
a moment where I was like, we're on a radio show. I can't say nothing. I was like, fuck it. I can tell Maurice puking.
I was
dude,
literally
your
hoping
eyes were rolling back right there, and I was like, dude, he's sick.
Have you guys ever been so sick that you like start getting that cold shiver thing?
How long were you gonna give it until you said something?
Well, I did have to pee. I didn't lie about that. I really did have to pee.
You didn't have to pee. You fucking
I pissed, Mom.
if your first step in a bathroom, the next step projectiles coming out, you didn't need to piss.
I didn't say which one I did first.
No, we
know.
know. I gave a play-by-play.
I was very, very sick. That's no other way to say it. I had to puke. I'm really sorry, guys. Once again, but, you know.
Kyle, I'm still wearing my pee pants. By the way, guys, Reese did mention it earlier on the stream. Not only did he puke today, but he woke up and pissed his pants this morning. He must have pissed in the middle of the night. So
Guys,
he's not only puked, but he's pissed this morning.
30% of last night's people pissed their pants.
30%.
Well, 33 point whatever. Anyway, yeah, I pissed my pants last night. That's how drunk I got. I drank, dude, we went through a handle of whiskey.
Oh, look at
Along with
Mickey.
my
Last night, Vodka Rebels at the bar, man.
We had vodka Red Bulls in my house. We had vodka too. That got drank.
We got a little screwdriver going on, Mickey. A little Sunday fun day.
Best drink for Sundays. Anyway, yeah, I peed my brains out. I'm really sorry about that.
Don't you ever apologize for that great of a moment. I looked at you and like...
You go, are you okay, buddy? And I'm like, no, I want to go home. I blew it up. In my mouth.
Oh, Kyle, happens to the best of us. By the way, guys, let me share a quick story with you. Reese can enjoy this. I have to share it with the stream. So my worst drunk story ever.
Time out. Is it awkward that I puked? I'm ready another beer.
No, it's not awkward at all. So my worst story ever. So there's a night that happens to me. It's Reese's 21st birthday. What does that mean for us and friends? It means we're getting fucking plowed. It's going to be a great night. Reese is psyched. I'm psyched. Here's what had just happened to me and Reese, though. We had just started working at a bar. We were bouncers at a bar. Now, if you never worked at a bar, that won't make any sense to you. But basically what happens is you spend all your free time on the weekends at the bar. Because you know everybody. You know everybody that's coming in. You know the regulars. You know the bartenders. You know the bouncers. It's like being at the high school hallway at 2 p.m. before class is out. And you're just the
Great
big man
time.
on campus.
BMOC.
So what happens is
Hashtag
this.
BMOC.
It's Reese's birthday. And there's a guy named Clint Ballard who... but God rest his soul. He's got some shit going on right now. We're hoping, we're wishing for a quick recovery for Clint. But great guy at the time. He was giving us some shit. By what I mean by some shit is some heavy drinks. I'm talking things that have names that don't have names.
We're talking about birthday night?
Yes.
This dude, alright, so can you imagine a frat bro, stereotypical, huge built muscle guy? That's this guy. He walked in,
Like 20 plus inch
walked
biceps.
in-
Real life.
Yes, real life. Yes, monster. He walks into the bar after we're already drinking. And FYI, side story. I'm just gonna go full rank here. We go out to the bar. We're having drinks, and whatnot. I have a shot for me when I come back inside because I went outside to chew some tobacco. I'm not sucking your dick. Yeah. I came back inside, and there's a shot for me. I'm like, oh, what's this? And they're like, oh, just take it. So I take it, and there's like some gold flakes. It was a bar mat shot. If you don't know what a bar mat shot is, the mat that has all the drinks made on it, they took the liquid from that and poured it in there, and I drank it not knowingly because it was my 21st birthday. I just drank it. I thought it was free. Gross. Doing that, that's what I'm doing. I'm drinking water in between drinks. Clint, Mr. Steroid Big Guy, dude, no joke. He walked in with 2 babes on each arm. Literally how he walked in. He had 2 girls, each arm. And he walks into the bar.
Like,
he goes,
what's up? What's up?
and he goes, he's like, oh, happy bro.
Actually, can I add to this story? He didn't walk in with 2 babes. Reese is wrong on that. And Reese is right, but he's wrong on that one story. Clint walked in with a 10. He was dating this hot blonde at the time. I don't
And
know
her
if you
friend,
remember.
he had her friend there too.
But his arm wasn't around. I mean, he didn't walk in. He walked in with chick, but this chick was so hot. Now, granted, guys, this was like porn star hot. What I mean is she was a 10 at the body.
Thick tits.
But you could tell, like, if you had a conversation with her, she's going to be like, I really like Scrabble. Scrabble, there's fun words that come out of it, like badoink. That being said, this chick, hotness-wise, real life hotness, take away celebrity. If that chick was a celebrity, she's a 9.
Yeah.
If she's not a celebrity, she's a 7.5.
He has gorgeous girls. Anyway, he walked in though, and the first thing he goes, sorry I'm late, bro. I'm just here. He talks like that, no joke. Literally, I do impressions.
What's up? What's up? Do it.
Bro, hey, sorry I'm late, man. You know, I just had to
We should have Clint.
I had to smash my chick out real quick, you know, and I just got to the bar.
Give me. We're gonna do Clinton Jr.
Obviously, you got the JR. Right?
All right.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, it's a slobber knocker over here. What's up with you?
My dick didn't fucking fight anyone.
God damn it! You fucking think of your family, Clint. Shit, think of your family.
I make the film with my dick. Hey.
God, stop the damn match.
Anyway, Clint walks in and he goes up to the bar and he goes, "Can I get a third right?"
Bro,
Now,
so-
but
so-
for those
so-
who don't know what a third right is,
it's pronounced third 3RD Reich RIKE.
yes.
So it's not third right. It's
I
not
didn't say
third.
they were
No,
right.
I know. I'm saying a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's so you know the name. A third Reich.
This is death. Here's what a third Reich is. It is a Irish car bomb, Guinness, whiskey, a cider bomb, whiskey, apple cider of your choice, whether that be Reds or, you know.
We're already talking a lot
Yes.
of booze.
Those are 2. And the way you drink those guys is you drop the shot in the pint of beer and you chug it. So you have your Irish car bomb, pint of beer with a shot of whiskey and Baileys. You have your cider bomb, which was, I believe it was whatever.
So let me clarify for people. It would be like you took a can of Guinness, poured it in a glass, a can of another beer, cider beer, poured it in a glass, then took a shot of another liquor,
2 shots
and then
in
put
each
them on.
beer.
I just want to give it to the audience. If you're not
Yeah.
familiar with these terms, because he's talking.
I'm doing
as
bartender style.
So
and
basically,
yeah.
basically what that means, if you're not familiar, and if you are familiar, I'm sorry for wasting your time, but basically, a shot is about a beer, and a beer is about a shot as far as alcohol content and effect on the body. Now, granted, volume does have an effect. The shot will hit you quicker than the beer. That being said, you combine both in one. You either chug 2 beers or chug 2 shots, and the weird part is it's kind of like compound interest. Is you don't know how it adds up. Sometimes it hits you fast.
Oh.
Sometimes the
fast.
beer helps you, and
Hence
you can
end
do
up-
a lot.
You end up puking on a Sunday podcast, and I'm sorry.
So a lot of people always go, oh, I love car bombs. Or people go, I don't fuck with car bombs because it hits everybody different. I'm sorry to interrupt. Keep going. And Mickey's had a car bomb.
Yeah. So Irish car bomb.
Quick plug.
Cider
Hey
bomb.
guys, if you haven't hit the follow button, hit the follow button right fucking now. You can hit it as fast as Reese puked. That being said, go over to Morgan_James13, smash that follow button, and we'll show you pictures of Reese puking. We can find that. Quick side story to give you guys a couple happy things. Me and Reese one time went.
You're like an outlet. You just need plugged in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's your popsicles. Too,
One thing real quick. Me and Reese went to Planet Wiener one time, place in Charleston. No longer there anymore. I'm going to give you guys a quick story just to keep you guys on the bit line. We went on a drive.
in Illinois.
I was on hangover level that Reese was on right now.
Oh, absolutely.
We went on a drive, and I go, bro, it's happening right now. Same look, same face. We all knew what was going on.
I had to pull over.
He pulls over, we're in the country, I get out, and I go for it, right? Here's the problem. You ever drank a lot of Gatorade or orange juice and your spit's all coagulated? That was my life at that moment in time. I let it out, but it didn't want to let go of me. So there's a strand from my nose to my mouth, all the way down. Puke, snot.
He puked out of literally every hole. His nose and his mouth, and it all combined to one big stream.
And
Funniest goddamn thing in the world.
Reese is literally
He goes,
dying.
Hey, bro. Can you pull over real quick? I don't feel so well. Pulls over. Gets out. Just pukes and let it happen. He just looks at me, world's all hanging. He goes, feel better. Like, Morgan, the comments go, we're going to Planet Wiener.
I did feel better.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Anyway, back to this third bike story.
Elite, you're definitely not leaving. You know you love us. We love you. Keep going.
We're off topic. Clint walked in the bar at 2 Hot Babes, walks up, gets the third right.
2 bitches.
Third right is an Irish car bomb, a cider bomb, and then a Boilermaker. Boilermaker.
You're so off topic of the end of this story.
I know. Boilermaker, though, is just a pint of beer with a shot of whiskey dropped in it. You drink all 3 of these in about 15 seconds. You drink them as fast as you can.
To give people reference here, people put their timer on. Like, it's who can do it fastest.
Yes, you do the third right fastest.
This isn't like you do it in 15 seconds, like, oh, you wolf one down. You're like, okay, I'm thinking about, okay, the next one. No. This is you pound, and everyone looks at you like, damn, you're fucked. Literally, it's one of those things where after you do it, you look at your best friend and you go, I'll see you tomorrow on the other side.
And that's what happened. Literally, I did it, and the last thing I remember that night, my 21st birthday, was
born.
the end of that glass of beer. But I wake up the next morning.
You didn't have the worst day.
And I'm like, what the fuck happened, guys? What did I do? My girlfriend, she's like, oh, your buddy helped carry you home. You just puked in the bathroom and then you went to bed. I'm like, that's all I did?
What a win. What a win.
I'm like, that's all I did for my 21st birthday. I didn't, like, get in a fight. I didn't, like, break anything. I didn't do anything douchey. I didn't do anything, I'm like, oh, that's okay. I walk out in the living room of our house at the time. Morgan walks out. Hair as fucked up as mine is when I'm drunk. Hair is just fucked up, and he's just like,
let me dive in.
He's like, bro,
so
I fucked up last night.
So
and this is what happened.
Here's the part of the story you guys are not told. When you are the best friend on a 21st birthday, what that means is every shot they took, you took. Every beer they drank, you drank. It does not matter what you want to do. You're doing what they did. So Third Reichs, you name it, we did it. Basically, I had a long-standing girlfriend at the time, Haley Michael. If you're out there, girl, love ya. That being said,
he doesn't mean that.
well, I mean, I don't mean it, but I got to give her a shout out. I mean, she's got to feel welcome. I don't want her to feel like shit.
Yeah, hope for show.
Yeah, I mean, nice lady, nice lady.
kidding.
That being said,
Yo, Lee Killer, you better not leave, man.
he's
What
not
are you
leaving.
doing?
He's not leaving. He's not leaving. Leave Gilbert.
You're funny. I like you.
Shh.
Sorry.
So this being said, here's what happened. I wake up the next morning. I'm gonna read what the killer said first.
Yeah.
You're real bad at this.
I'm sorry.
All right, I ate tomato soup with peas one time. I walked out and cold and puke comes out my nose and my mouth. I finish and there's a pea trying to escape my nose. Yeah, dude, we're about there. So basically, here's what happens, Elite. And Elite, that's disgusting. You're nasty. I love it. Okay. So I wake up, and this is the story I'm told. First and foremost, I pissed my pants.
In the fetal position.
In the fetal position.
That's, those of you who don't know a fetal position, that is like this, legs up.
Face down, ass up is the fetal position, but on your side.
Yeah.
That being said, this was out in the front yard, not backyard.
Our female roommate said she woke up in the middle of the night, looked outside, and saw Morgan in his boxers, just boxers, so he has no shirt, no pants, just his boxers out in the front yard, pissing in the rain, crying in the fetal position.
And see, and I was the big one was I was crying. So I cried, pissed my pants, puked. Lucky I didn't shit myself. The best part is there was no shirt, there was no pants, there was no socks. There was only a gray pair of boxer briefs that were soaked. And I woke up, and you know, when you wake up on a morning like that, hey, let me tell you. Let me.
Can I just read? No, I interrupted. I'm sorry. Morgan walked out of his room, hair fucked up, and he goes,
Oh wait, I forgot. Me and my girlfriend broke up that night.
"No, here's the thing."
For a period.
No, he goes
for what was it, like 3-4 weeks?
Here's what you said. You walk out and you go, dude, all right. I woke up in my jeans without my boxers, but they're soaked with piss in the corner. I don't know.
Different night.
Sorry, just came fine then. Anyway,
I never had the boxers.
I will never forget this though. Your first thing you walked out, you go. I was like, how'd you end up, Morgan? I don't remember anything. He's like, well, I cried in the fetal position on the rain. I apparently beat my girlfriend, and I
which by the way,
beat his girl.
I did not beat my girlfriend. No. That's
what he said. He goes, apparently I did. Yeah, he did not know.
That was part of a story that was not going to be mentioned because A, it never happened, and clearly the next day she goes, yeah, that didn't happen. She was drunk.
Yeah, it said that. No, it was a joke. But yeah, he goes.
Jesus Christ,
I'm not trying to like. I said it was a joke. He goes. I don't know. Like, I pissed my pants. Apparently, beat my girlfriend. I'm single. And
the most important thing is I thought I was shit myself.
Yeah, and then he's like, I think I shit myself.
But I did. I never did. How do you not? You let everything go and you don't let nothing go?
No, I don't know.
I'm the ultimate fail-safe.
I don't even remember you going to the bathroom. Anyway, that was just a funny story. That was my 20th
Elite said he snorted the pee back up. Hot damn!
You dirty!
You ruthless bastard!
Yeah, you're savage.
Hey to all,
savage AF.
To everybody listening to this stream right now. First and foremost, I want to thank you. Second off, I want to say, why the fuck haven't you hit that follow button if you haven't? That's about all I got.
All right. Let's move on to this last thing.
What do you got on our last?
Reese's Pieces.
One thing I want to say. One thing I want to say is we will get off subject, guys. And the more you guys talk in the chat, the more off subject we get. We prefer that. We have things we want to talk about that we're definitely going to talk about. But don't expect us to be like bop bop bop. This is a unedited, live as fuck.
AF.
A show, and what it is it's supposed to be, and I want to preface this for everybody because this is our episode 1. If you're watching this isn't for the people who want a heavy segmented show. This isn't for the people who don't like comic books or don't like MMA. This is for people who like real shit, real people talking about things they really enjoy. This is a real conversation we're having, and we love connecting with you guys. You know, Elite and Mickey, all these other people, K-Rice. What he doesn't know, and I know because I talk to you guys, is these are people from Sweden, people from London. We're talking all over the world. It's my favorite part about doing this. So we're going to get off topic. We're going to talk about shit we like. But here's the thing, though. It's a hangout with you guys, so definitely add to it as much as you want. Reese, what do you got last for us for pieces?
We're going to do a top 10.
Ooh, so here's one thing I should preface again. We really like top 10 lists. The reason why we like top 10 lists is because it's a rating. It's a rating. And we get to argue. And me and this guy here, this is literally my best friend. We say 2 years old. That's probably not true. It's probably 5, 6, something like that.
No, our moms walked us together.
But I'm not saying it never happened.
Anyway.
I'm saying... What I'm saying is we used to because we've been best friends that long. We went to college together.
Almost brothers.
We're on that level. And for some reason, our favorite thing to do is fucking argue.
Absolutely. And the top 10, if you're a nerd... Or if you're a fight fan, or if you're a sports fan.
I think
any.
If you're a person who likes to immerse yourself in detail-oriented,
you
cool
rate
stuff.
shit. You just rate stuff. You rank them. You rate and rank. You literally pick out your best whatever. Like yeah, that's just what you do. You literally compare the best. Like it's unhuman to not compare.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what these top 10 lists are. For our first top 10 list that we're gonna do,
Ever. Ever.
Oh, that's the same noise that he makes when he sucks my dick.
Oh, God.
Just
Elite
kidding.
Killer said it tasted delicious right at that moment. He meant it for the pee, but it came for the pee. You know what I'm saying? Up top.
Oh, wow.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, I'm a loser. All right, here we go. Top 10. First top 10 ever.
So basically, this is the way it's going to work.
The biggest dick in the world.
Reese is a real
Anyway,
raider.
I got this.
I just want
Back to nostalgia. Top 10. We're doing 90s kids cartoons. Go ahead.
So the list is 90 cartoon shows, and basically we fought back and forth about how to do this show because I hate doing lists. I really do. And Reese loves doing lists, and this is how it's always going. But I love talking about how bad Reese's lists are. I always have, always will. I love talking about how bad this movie was, or talking how bad this was.
Hence Joker. Do you remember that whole Joker spiel?
The whole spiel. That's our
This
friendship.
guy's wrong.
So basically, here's what's going to happen. Reese is going to make a top 10 list, and then I'm going to either agree or disagree on the people, and then definitely agree or disagree on the number. So Reese, give us your top 10.
All right.
Oh my God, we got an elite shout out for Chris Jericho.
Walls of Jericho? Break the wall.
Oh, yeah! That was good.
Great.
You couldn't have planned that.
Oh, man.
Couldn't have planned
That's
that.
awesome. All right.
All right, so we're going. What's the list, Reese?
Top-
And give them the parameters.
Top 10.
By the way,
90s.
guys, the Sunday Funday screwdrivers, we fucking it up.
Is it hitting you?
Hidden. Well, I mean,
Obviously, it hit me.
I'll tell you what, I'm not running to the bathroom puking.
I did. All right, we're doing the top 10.
Uh-oh. We already got elite kind of touching on a few. Why don't you give us our top 10 to start?
All right, here we go. 90s,
Top 10, what are they?
90s kids cartoons.
So that means...
So, what that mean?
Sorry.
Kids cartoons, we're not including, even though it would be number 1 or 2. We're not doing South Park, Simpsons, anything that's, more for the mature audiences. We're just literally doing cartoons like your
If
Saturday
you woke up
shows.
on Saturday morning cartoons, this is what you watch.
Had a bowl of cereal, all that. This is like a nostalgia thing for us.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here's the top 10, my top 10 favorite 90s cartoons. Morgan, disagree or agree? Here we go. Number 10, Rocket Power.
Rocket Power.
Yeah.
Great show.
I'm
I'm gonna break down the list after this, so why don't you go through them and then I'll read them back out.
Alright, hold on. With top 10, well, okay, 10's
Just read them.
Fine, 10's Rocket
God
Power.
damn it.
Honorable mention is Superman the Animated Series.
Honorable mention, no one gives a fuck.
Alright, number 9. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Number 9's Yu-Gi-Oh?
Number 9's Yu-Gi-Oh! For me.
Number fucking 9?
Morgan loved Yu-Gi-Oh! We used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! At your house like
Just keep going.
9's Yu-Gi-Oh! 8.
Wait. Splash Man in the building. What up, Splash? What up, boy? Keep going.
Nice. 8. Show that a lot of people probably forgot about, but my number 8 favorite show was Gargoyles. It was on Cartoon Network.
Great
It was
show.
about
Great show.
gargoyles,
Where they
Salmon
froze
Run.
into the
Yep,
gargoyle
and then
man.
they
I think
turned it
8's a
9.
nice
You can-
spot. Maybe 9, because it's definitely not fucking better than Yu-Gi-Oh.
I think it's better than Yu-Gi-Oh!
What?
Anyway, number 7. Show I love. Couldn't put higher though. Courage the Cowardly Dog. I love that show. The weirdness. They did things.
The grandpa did it for me.
They took themes from movies and they put it in there, but that poor dog, man. Yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog is number 7. Number 6 is Fox's X-Men.
Okay, first off, your impression was terrible, but that show was the fucking shit.
It has the best intro theme. Yeah. Best intro music ever.
Oh my god. And you're sitting there and there's that Cyclops fucker just fucking beaming eyes out. Oh god.
Yeah. Number 6 was the X-Men. Number 5, Dexter's Laboratory. Good one? Yeah, he agrees with that one. Alright, number 5, Dexter's Laboratory. Number 4, Spider-Man, the animated series. We had a Peter Parker, who's a little bit older.
That is, I think when people think Spider-Man, I think that's baseline.
There's that new show, Ultimate Spider-Man.
No.
There's a bunch of Spider-Man.
No, the rating,
but the
dude,
original
that
one,
Spider-Man was on at a time when kids only had one station. If you remember back to when 90s kids, and what we mean by 90s kids is if you were born in the 90s, not if you were 12 or 15 when you were in the 90s. And if you were, no offense to you guys at all, we all are who we are. That being said, though, when you woke up as a 90s kid on Saturday, first and foremost, you had your thing of Lucky Charms, Frosted Flakes, Honey Nut Cheerios, Mini Wheats, whatever the fuck you were eating, but it was always
Reese's.
Yeah, Reese's Puffs, you mean?
The company
That-
always sues
that-
me.
that
It's
being
awkward.
said-
Go ahead.
That being said, that was one of the shows that, like, no matter what you were watching was the because it was on at 3 p.m. on weekdays. It was on the weekend. And here's the thing, too. Think about a little kid. What do little kids like? They like futuristic technology, so that Electro dude, you were all over. They love superheroes, so Venom, Carnage, all them, they were all over.
They hit all
but,
of
but,
those.
but think about this. Not only they had Mary Jane, who was a fox,
You guys ever wanted to bang a cartoon chick?
right? My life. That being said, think about this. They had like the Dracula dude. They hit for a kid animated Spider-Man series. You got everything. You got horror. They had Halloween edition. They had Christmas edition.
Vulcan. You had all
Spider-Man could be
types of-
applied to life, and then in our same lifetime at 90s, it was probably, what was it, 2003 or something like that, which is still 90s in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Parker came to life on the big screen, the first one. So Spider-Man is
Actually, the first one was 2000.
So basically, we're right at the cusp.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is a special part in everyone's heart. I think 90s is because Spider-Man really is where it all started.
Spider-Man is literally the third most popular hero in the world of recognizable symbols. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
yeah.
Spider-Man was number 4. Number 3, Pokemon.
And
Indigo Tribe.
don't
The
worry,
original
don't worry,
TV
don't worry.
series.
I'm gonna get deep in that ass for him letting that be only number 3. Because with the success of Pokemon Go, you now have 2 points in time where you can look at how big Pokemon was, and it's not bigger than it was, and it's fucking
It's just
huge.
big, yeah.
So any of the series you're gonna name after this, which I love both to the death, pisses me off because
This isn't best. This is favorite.
No.
I mean, you said Yu-Gi-Oh is better than Pokemon.
I'd like Yu-Gi-Oh better than Pokemon, but I would never rank Pokemon below. Because, dude, do you remember? Not only did the Pokemon have a movie, every kid went to see it. If you came to school that Monday,
You played cards at a
no,
local whatever.
If
trying
you
to play
came to
games.
school that Monday and you hadn't seen Mew vs. Mewtwo, first off, you weren't making out with any chicks on the swings. You were a fucking faggot. Let's put that out there right now. Dodgeball, you ain't on my team. Don't come on my squad. You want to play basketball today at recess? Go fuck yourself. By the way,
everyone has their Machamp from their starter pack, and they have like all.
oh
their
man,
names. Yeah.
and visors were huge in that time
Yeah,
period.
yeah,
Oh,
they
you
were.
wanted a visor to borrow from the most popular kid in school? You ain't getting it. All right, I'm just telling you, life was fucking hard back then.
Pokemon cards. Where was
He's got Elite Killer's got a shit based Charizard. Charizard was the shit.
I love Charizard.
All right, keep going.
Anyway,
Chris Benoit.
Pokemon ran at 3. Number 2, probably. Honestly, it's probably one of the best shows ever created. Dragon Ball
alright.
Z.
All right, so here's what you guys should know. Dragon Ball Z to this douche and this queer. That's our favorite fucking show ever. Superman, please.
Man.
No. You know it. Because here's the thing. Here's
Dragon Ball
Here's the reason why.
did
Because
so
he
much.
shared it with... Dragon Ball was the thing we all agreed on. Now, we didn't agree on who we liked. We actually agreed on who we liked opposite-wise. And it made it work. I love Vegeta. That dude's this shit.
I'm a
And
Goku fan.
Of course you're a Goku fan. Reese is like, who's number 1?
I like the guy.
Let me line up with number 1. And then when I like LeBron, for obvious reasons...
He's not number 1.
Reese is like...
Michael's number 1. But back to I like number 1s. You want to know why? Because they're number 1s. They have the stories behind them. They have the history.
He's got a first edition base set Charizard. I bet that shit's worth a pretty penny, Elite.
Hey, actually, Elite, you know what? Charizard card on eBay. If you were to sell your Charizard
If you just
card,
want to give it to me, Elite, I'll give you my
even
email.
shitty, if you look up the price, Charizard's going for about $5,000.
Ha! Look at Elite. Read it.
Dragon, rockin' the Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z has a special part in my boner. And the reason being is it gives me a boner every time.
No, yeah. So anyway, Dragon Ball is number 2 because Dragon Ball was.
Give him number 1. And guys, if you want to burn Reese at the stake, it's only episode 1. We definitely can do that. We can find another co-host.
Dragon Ball Z is definitely 2. Number 1, without a doubt, Batman the Animated Series, because Batman the Animated Series won Emmys. It literally was on a national. It actually won award shows. It hit a level. Cartoons don't win Emmys.
This is me raising my hand.
Go ahead.
Here's where we're gonna start. Who gives a fuck about it winning an Emmy? Here's my thing. Here's my biggest. Let me give me your goddamn list. Let's just get into this. Let's just get into this. Number 10, Rocket Power, good spot. Right. We're good with that. Rocket Power, every 90s kid knows, but no one was like, that was my favorite shit, except for like Tyler Willoughby. There's some people, but there's not going to be a lot. Let's go with number 9, Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the most atrocious choice ever. It's in the top 3 for fucking sure. Here's why.
Over Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z,
Listen. No. Here's why. Did you go to school and play Gargoyles? Courage, Cowardly the Dog? X-Men? Dexter? Spider-Man? No, there was a fucking card game that took the world by storm, and you went to that school and you played it. That counts as part of the show. So that's at least number fucking 3. So why don't you take a fat dick, shove it up your ass? I don't care if you gotta go puke again to get that out of you. Do it.
You never know. All right, Maureen is not.
Number 8, Gargoyles. I'm all for. Number 7, Courage, Cowardly Dog. Love it. I think that's right. Number 6, Fox's X-Men. Here's my thing. I guess it depends on how you're rating. If we're rating on culture or impact.
I'm doing favorites, not culture impact. That's why you chose 9.
If Fox's X-Men was cultural impact, I think you're right. I think if you were talking comic book shows of that time, I think it's much higher.
No, it's number 1 probably.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Outside, no, like number 2. Batman's the best.
What I mean to the audience is Fox's X-Men was fucking crushing it. Kyle wants to say, was Rugrats' name, or are we just doing Cartoon Network? And if we didn't say Rugrats, Kyle, I think you just pulled a big hole in Reese's whole fucking list. So let's just
time out. Rugrats is on my list. Read your honorable mentions.
But if Rugrats wasn't in the top thing. So that being said, Dexter's Laboratory can be in the right spot. Spider-Man the Animated Series at being number 4, I disagree with. Here's why. I think it should just be higher. I think the Animated Series, Batman Animated Series, should take Yu-Gi-Oh's 9. Here's why. It was
what?
This is my.
All right.
I think Batman the Animated Series was great, and I think it was so great it won an Emmy.
It still is watchable today though. You can watch it, and it's not like, oh, I was a kid that liked that. Did I spit on you too?
No, I'm waiting to see is it my time to talk.
Oh. Okay.
I think Batman the Animated Series, as a fan, I love it. It's one of my favorite. But if I was talking cultural impact, I think everybody knows Batman, but I think it's just like Rocket Power. No one could save specific episodes. I think you could, but I don't think most people could.
Mad Love. We had the introduction of Harley Quinn. Do I have any Harley Quinn fans out there? Any Harley Quinn?
Honestly, I think I think if you flipped your list, I think you'd be more right, even if you just flipped it.
It hit up the top 3.
But that being said, I think Pokemon has got to be number 1. Because Pokemon, 2 times in our world, in our era, in our livelihood. And keep in mind, guys, you know what happened in the 70s because of textbooks, because of recordings, because of things, but you weren't alive
Best music ever.
You don't know. You don't know. You weren't there. You weren't on the streets. You have no clue what that time period was like. Don't kid yourself. We know what the 90s were like. We know what the 2000s was like. And guess what? Who the fuck was talking about Pokemon? Everyone. Whose parents took them to Pokemon? Everyone. Who was talking about Yu-Gi-Oh? Everyone. Not really. It was like 85%, right? That was like 85%.
Pokemon is unanimous over Yu-Gi-Oh.
Pokemon got everybody. Pokemon's got to be number 1. I think you know in your heart Pokemon's got to be number 1. And I think
my list is favorite, not best.
And I think
Rugrats was best.
I think Rugrats not being in the top 10 is
Rugrats was close, man.
No, think about it. Rugrats is a bad thing not having top 10. It's like not having Bill Russell.
Here we go. Honorable mentions. Outside of that, for you guys who are wondering. Honorable mentions. I had Hey Arnold, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Rugrats, Johnny Quest, Johnny Bravo, Animaniacs, Powerpuff Girls, and Digimon. I had a couple of honorable mentions, but it is not my favorite. Hence, that list is favorite, not best. Pokemon has wiped out everything. It is the worldwide Pokemon Go. There are people like literally. How do you have an app where people are walking into water, not focusing on life? Like
well, that just speaks to people.
But I do think Batman Animated Series. That those episodes are based off individual comics, which I am a comic fan.
K-Rice got you with another one.
What'd he say?
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo's in the 90s. Scooby-Doo started in 87. I looked it up.
Oh.
Okay. I looked up actual rules.
Okay.
Just like Dragon Ball GT and other ones are now. It's Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo started later. Just like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was 89. Can't include it. Otherwise, that would have been there.
All right. So that was our top 10. What we're going to move into is into our third segment. And what this third segment is called, it's called W3, What We're Watching. And it's also a current event segment.
W3s.
It's also a current event segment just because you could be watching on the news. And one thing I quickly want to reach out, I don't know if you've heard about this, Reese. Have you heard about the U of I shootings?
Yeah.
And
last night.
I think everyone here at the channel would like to consider our condolences and our thoughts and try to send as many positive thoughts we can to the U of I shooting victims. As far as we know, there's 1 killed, 5 injured, 6 injured, right?
Actually, the kill count, or the injured was 6. The kill count was 3. 9 total victims.
Yeah, and so I just say, as a person of that local community, and U of I being a pretty big campus, I just got to say we want to send our thoughts and best wishes to everybody over there. Back on to what we're watching, the W3s, not to put it on a heavy segment, but I felt like we would be assholes not bringing that up.
Right, yeah.
What we're watching, and this is really where I'd love the chat to get fucking nuts. Totally talk right now, because we're going to respond. What we're watching is all about things that we think are fucking cool, things that are getting us hyped. You know, when you go home and there's no one around, and what you look up on your TV or what show you put on, that's what I want to talk about now.
What are you watching while you drink so much that you go puke in the bathroom?
Exactly.
The next day?
For me, you know what I'm really balls deep into these days, Reese? Sure. I got a few shows I'm into, but my first number one show, we haven't talked too much about it. Hard Knocks. Have you ever watched Hard Knocks?
No.
Hard Knocks is NFL during preseason. And the reason
I lied. I have watched that, but not this current.
The reason it sucks me in so hard is, like, so we're adults now, right? You have a job. You have a boss.
Think so. Yeah.
Like, you've been told by your boss, this isn't good enough. You need to do more.
Right.
And you've also looked at your boss and you went like, what? I don't know how to do more. No one's taught me. No one's ever done this, right? So what's so cool about Hard Knocks is, like, you'll see a quarterback, right? And you think quarterbacks, you know they have the hardest job, but you kind of overlook it, right? You see the coaches telling these fuckers, I don't care who you were in college. I don't care what you did yesterday. You throw that fucking ball. Right. And like you see them getting hit with some real ass shit, and that stuff, I don't know, it gets me real hard. And you see them getting cut and everything. It's like the most real, dramatic, awesome stuff you can watch. That's been probably my favorite show. I'm on the last episode tonight, and it's on HBO. If you guys haven't watched it, if you don't have access to HBO, so I'll give you one gummy for Brock's Onyx. That's hilarious, Elite. That's been my HBO, my sports show. I always have a sports show. You know this. Now, what I've been diving in. Otherwise, a few shows, and I'm going to talk about a lot of them. And this is going to be a big segment, so I want you to share as much as I can.
All right,
so first off, I've been fucking Netflix up. I took a long hiatus from Netflix, not in a bad way. In the fact that, as you know, and a lot of people know here, when I work in insurance business and working in that business, I had to get a couple licenses that took a couple months to take care of. It's considered the second hardest test to take for a profession in the U.S., and it took me a while. So I had 5 or 6 months of study time. What that means is I had a lot of time to watch time. So I had fucked Netflix right in the beehole. You know what I mean? I'd give it that,
that ground pound.
Yeah, that ground and pound, the scoop and poop, as P. Willio, the fan of the stream, would say. That being said, I'd watched everything on Netflix. Now Netflix comes out with Narcos, comes out with Stranger Things, comes out with this thing called The Get Down. And I am, at the same time, watching all 3. I finished The Get Down. It's only 6 episodes. Let me tell you about The Get Down. 70s based, but it's so badass, because what it's badass about it is it talks about the 70s. It talks about how disco was a sin. You know what I mean? Like, we look at the disco now, and we're like, it's disco! Everybody loved it. No, at first, it was a sin to be playing. That was, like, the sexiest, hardest music. That was, like, when you look at me and you go, this guy's saying shit. That was what it was back then.
Right, yeah.
And they were getting, churches were getting thrown out, all that stuff. So it's a little bit extravagant. It's kind of like a, who's the Kill Bill?
Uma Thurman?
No, but that dude.
The director?
Samuel L. Jackson's always in his movies. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, Tarantino, the director.
It's a pretty ridiculous show at times. I think you love it though. It's got a lot of great rap segments and stuff like that, but it's pretty dang cool because it shows in that time period. If you wanted to rap, if you wanted to be a DJ, if you wanted to be part of the disco scene, like now there's 30, 40 outlets for that, and people could go, oh, you're legit. You're legit. Yeah. Even us, we want to go legit with a podcast or an episode or a YouTube show, and people don't call us idiots. It's legit now. Back then, it's like you saying...
Yeah, it was not...
It's like you looking at me right now going, hey, I want to be a professional skydiver.
You don't?
And I would be like, how? I mean, do you know a single skydiver? Why would you want to do that? So that's a pretty cool show. Dive in really heavy in Narcos. Now, anybody that's watching Narcos, if you're like me and you don't like major drug depressing shows, this isn't the show. That's not the show at all. What the show is based off of, what makes the show so badass, is it shows, and this
Morgan
is something...
Hayes Breaking Bad. That was that whole drug knock thing.
This is something that I'm really obsessed with, and I don't know why. It's when bad men are good men, but you don't really see it.
How do you hate Breaking Bad then?
What I just hate Breaking Bad because Breaking Bad literally depresses me. It's one of the greatest shows ever. I respect it as one of the greatest shows ever. But for me personally, I'm so depressed watching it.
Breaking Bad is literally the greatest show of all time by Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just depressed by it, and I
most reviewed, most highly rated.
But if you ask anybody that knows me, I've said I don't like Breaking Bad, but I don't.
I feel like Narcos is the same thing. But
Narcos is not the same thing. Have you watched Narcos?
No, I'm getting ready to start actually.
It's so different because you don't ever see him handling the drugs. He's not a drug dealer. He's running a company. He's running a country. He's running a movement. It's badass. And you have to see it.
It is all Pablo Escobar based, right?
Well, in the beginning, the show Narcos is going to be based on the effect of narcotics, period. So there will be a time there's no Pablo Escobar after the second season.
All right.
But for the first two, think of it as True Detective.
Okay.
There's different characters, but it's based off the same thing. Elite Killer, what should you play? I don't give a fuck. Probably UFC, though, bro. It's the best shit ever. Or 2K, or any sort of Madden game, or any sort of fight game. By the way, any stream fans that are checking out the podcast, Reese for sure is going to stream Injustice 2 for us, with us. We might even start streaming Injustice here soon, so definitely stay tuned for stuff like that. Back to what we're watching.
Mine. I have two. What we're watching.
Yeah.
I picked up...
And by the way, chat, please tell us what you're watching. Tell us whatever you're balls deep in. Put in hashtag balls deep and we'll know what you're watching.
Lucifer. Which
Fox, right?
Fox. I originally watched the first 2-3 episodes and I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll probably watch it all when it comes out on whatever. And they uploaded the whole first season to Hulu and I've watched all of it and it is amazing because it's also a comic book adaptation. So I'm watching this show, and it's literally the premise of it is the devil got bored in hell. He came to Earth to have a vacation, but he likes Earth, so he's staying here. But he's not your typical devil. It hits into a lot of biblical nostalgia. Like the devil doesn't he's not evil. He just was cast down by his father.
No, he has a job.
He has a job.
He's like the meter maid that hands you a ticket.
Yes, God picked Lucifer to run hell because he was his most proud, prideful son. Which, if you read any Bible, whatever religion you are, the whole thing is the devil was like the most beautiful angel. He was the best given talent. Anyway, the show has him running hell. He got bored running hell. He doesn't he's just tortured people for the last few centuries, and he's like, oh, I'm done. Goes to Earth, meets a detective. He becomes vulnerable on the detective. Not emotionally, but even physically. He doesn't have his powers that he normally does around her. He's not bulletproof. He's not, charming and all that stuff. But it's a really good show. Literally, Lucifer, he walks into people. He can just make a girl admit her deepest inner thoughts. Or a guy. Anyone.
Also... Sorry to interrupt. Lucifer is a really good show to show for any of these comic book fans. A lot of people don't know that Lucifer is is it part of DC or is it part of Marvel?
Well, DC. It's actually under Vertigo. Vertigo was bought out by DC.
Elite Killer gave us a hashtag balls deep. I've been watching Gabriel Iglesias comedies and movie shows. Actually, he just came to ISU recently in Bloomington. I saw a lot of people had pictures of him. So Gabriel Iglesias just performed. It was like an hour and 20 minutes from where we are right now. So that's pretty awesome. And he goes, I've also been watching the Batman movies, such as Assault on Arkham with Killer Frost. And I actually own that movie on my Amazon account, and Reese had access to that account. We've watched that Assault on Arkham. Person at Elite Killer, next time you see P. Willie on the stream, P. Willie literally...
I gotta ask Elite Killer, I gotta ask you a question. So, you like Arkham Asylum, or you like the Assault on Arkham, You didn't like Suicide Squad though?
A lot of people have been saying that to me. Like P. Willie, a friend of the stream, Patrick, as you know, a good friend of mine, work associate. He has actually watched Assault on Arkham. It is his comfort movie. It's the movie that when you get home and you're like, what do I throw on? Fuck it, I'm throwing my favorite thing on. That's his movie. He's watched it over.
Really?
No shit.
I think that movie is garbage.
He knows it is, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He says he's watched it like 42, 50 plus times. Seriously. And he watched Suicide Squad. He was super hyped, and he's super hyped to watch it again when it comes out. But he watched it in theaters.
Right?
Super comic book guy. Hated it because the movie's so bad. But he got re-psyched because he watched Assault on Arkham, so he's re-psyched to come back in it. So what I'm saying is the people who I've heard that really like Assault on Arkham don't like the Suicide Squad, and what I hear is this is two things. One, they don't like that it's not the same characters.
Yeah.
Two, they don't like the Joker in Suicide Squad the movie. Your thoughts?
I think Assault on Arkham's garbage. That Joker, is not voiced by Mark Hamill, so that's one problem.
Yeah, but the most recent Mark Hamill Bat movie sucks.
I will say this though, Assault on Arkham has probably the best cartoon sex scene ever with Harley Quinn and Deadshot.
And Lee Killer says, I did enjoy Suicide Squad, but Jared Leto's shit sucked.
Alright, fair enough, Lee Killer. I respect that.
You gotta respect that though, because that's an educated fan talking to us.
If you watch both, I get it. I would say, I don't know. I just think Assault on Arkham is not a good movie. I mean, I will say this: Suicide Squad, they had parallels of using Batman the same way, just in glimpses, and that that kind of works. But the Assault on Arkham, they have what? They have King Shark. They have a couple other guys, the heads blown off, but. I don't know. That's interesting. But anyway, back to original thing. Lucifer. Yeah, go watch that. That's
what's the second show you've been in?
Second show, which would be in '90s animated anything number one. It's South Park.
The
new season of South Park, their 20th season, just started 2 weeks ago.
I think that's such a good point.
Amazing. It's so funny.
Speaking of a correlation to MMA. One of the big things going on in MMA right now is stars of the old are coming back and showing their stars. Damian Maya comes to mind. And Damian Maya was the shit 3, 4, 5 years ago. Always had this blazing jiu-jitsu. And now that the USADA has come in and the drug tests have got heavy, he's shown himself to be the fucking shit. Carlos Condit, you know Carlos Condit, right?
Right.
Submitted him in 3 minutes, which was nuts. So, that being said, South Park gives me that same vibe where it's like, it's the same. You tune in, you know the characters, and I'm still sitting here going, "Holy shit, this is as fresh as hell." It's I don't even mean to take this to a really, really gay level as far as like really bad language, but I am as balls deep in South Park as far as the freshest fart you've ever smelled.
Absolutely, and I think I personally like. All right, I love Simpsons; it's great. It doesn't hold up compared to South Park though. South Park, the reason South Park works. Is they
By the way, we have a hashtag to get to in a minute. I just want him to know we're coming to it.
They make a show in 6 days and they keep it current topics. The most current topics you can make it. They literally make that show in 6 days. Their documentary, South Park, 6 days, whatever to air. That's a documentary. Watch it. It's amazing.
Which we're not 100% positive. They still. What I think they do now is I think they have 6 days to air, but they have a storyline already. So half the episode I think is already
last
planned.
Season of South Park, they actually it was the first time they every episode connected. They actually it wasn't individual episodes. They actually tied everything together. Now I'm sure they have a main idea, but then all of them are current topics. Yes. Like the first episode of South Park, this new season, 20th season. They're tackling Kaepernick. They tackle J.J. Abrams' Star Wars from last year. They tackle, oh my god, what else? They tackle, oh my god, the PC political correctness of females and gender equality.
I think the biggest thing they got at, and this is going to sound weird, because it's not a big deal yet, but it will be a big deal in 5 years. Ads. So right now the biggest thing
is trolling. They make fun of trolling.
So in case you guys wondered, if me and Reese, if enough of you guys watch this, we get paid for advertisements. That's how this whole works. That's why people do this. That's why you have access to this. That's why we enjoy doing it. It's why you enjoy watching it. That is the commodity that people use. That being said, South Park was ahead of the game and already making fun of it. It's 2-3 years away and they're making fun of it. A quick shout out. All the Rager, hashtag balls deep in Seinfeld. I want to touch on it real quick because I don't think we'll be on a long convo about it. But Seinfeld, is a great show. It's the original comedy. If you like Friends, if you like Modern Family, if you like How I Met Your Mother, guess what you like?
Side note, Seinfeld mentions a Superman reference in every single episode because Jerry is a huge Superman fan. So literally every episode there is some sort of relation to Superman somehow.
That being said, Seinfeld
Side note.
is the original comedy.
It is,
If you like those sitcoms, if you like any of those, you like
the original
Seinfeld,
funny.
whether you like it or not, because it's just time period. That being said, to all the Rager, I would love for you to check out, if you have a PS4, an Xbox, or internet access, which you obviously do, go to Crackle, go to Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. If you enjoy Seinfeld's
Morgan
comedy,
loves this show.
it's my favorite show in the world, and Reese would love it if he gave it more chances. And I understand, it's a hard show to start, but like every show, the more you watch it, the more you get into it.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Elite
watch it.
Killer, though, goes, oh, remember Chewbacca?
Oh yeah, the member berries. No, that you know what's funny too is like South Park. They literally can get away with making fun of anything, and it's funny because so like we have all these movie remakes now.
Trista Gringo, it says that we play UFC 2. We play that about 6 to 7 days a week, so it just kind of stays there. It may not be on right now, but we were talking UFC earlier. Definitely hit that follow button, catch another stream when we're playing UFC 2, or just check out the podcast and have a good time. Sorry to interrupt.
What was I saying? Oh,
You're talking
yeah,
about
South Park though. The thing is, they're nailing the whole nostalgia thing of like people remembering stuff. Like literally, you know, if you
Just
watch
read
the
it.
new,
Just read it.
if you watch the new Star Wars and you've seen the original ones, it's literally an homage to Episode 4. And South Park does a great job of capitalizing. They can, like I said, they can make fun of anything they want and all the time. And their you know, first episode, these member berries, member.
It's
literally-
between a man and a woman.
It's making fun of how everyone. We can't accept, as a culture, we can't accept new anymore. We're desperate to get the old feelings back, so we're just like, we're making Ghostbuster movies with a fucking full female cast that sucks. We're trying to remake Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies that are terrible. We're trying to remake all this stuff that are not
Well,
good.
if you look at next year, we have coming up next year. We have like a Finding Nemo 3 or something. We have a Iron Man 4. If you look at next year, I have to relook at the list, but it's all remakes of remakes of now. Like all next year coming out, it's like there's nothing original. The last original movie, The Accountant, might be the last original movie.
So, well, that's okay. There is original movies, but no one goes to see them. They're indie films, and they're small, and they're only released in so many theaters. There are original films, but there's also
there's definitely original films.
there's shit ton of remakes though. We have Star Wars Episode 8. We have Star Trek. I think 4 is coming out in 2 years, but Star Wars Episode 8. We have we have another Avengers movie. We have Justice League, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's original, and Aquaman's original.
It's a real good time for lightsabers and arm bars.
No, yeah. Comic book wise, we're killing it. But there's just so many repeats.
Fuck you, Ricky Bobby.
But there is, remakes are just, it's like a thing of nature now, and South Park did a great job making fun of it. But there are remakes that are really good. Like, people don't even know this. Hey, you know Scarface is a remake? And everyone loves Scarface. Your original Scarface.
I would
The
imagine.
original film is 1939. I watched that.
I would
in my film
imagine.
class.
I would imagine every major
It's all remakes now. It is remakes.
movie is
Anyway,
a remake.
South Park makes fun of that though, touches on it. South Park also does the whole, oh my god, the girl issue of girls not having equal rights. Nothing
Girls are
against-
funny. Just deal with it.
Nothing against women, but South Park, they're tackling that whole, the female comedian thing. So like the female comedian thing, the thing is that a lot of guys don't like female comedians, not because they're females, but because they're just a little too dirty, even for guys.
Yeah.
Lisa Lampanelli talking about her vagina and all the black that goes in it. South Park touches on that. I think South Park's great because South Park can literally do whatever they want, and they have like a good reason. If you have that type of humor where you look at things from a realist point of view, South Park will relate to you. Anyways, that's why I'm watching South Park.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you've been watching?
I just started Luther last night with Idris Elba.
Yeah,
Love that.
yeah.
That show is... I only watched 2 episodes, and I think that show is great.
Well, unless someone says something in the next 30 seconds, I think this is probably going to be our best time to wrap up. We're hitting about 2 hours, and I honestly got to say, I don't think there could have been a better first show, guys. I know
I
you.
puked. Guys, I puked. I ran in the bathroom and puked.
I know you guys said you were going to show up, and you guys definitely did. We've had consistent viewers the whole time, and I know since this is supposed to go on YouTube, this isn't even really meant to be a Twitch thing. It means the world to us that all you guys have tuned in and just hung out with us. This is something that's going to be happening every Sunday. I know Reese is already committed. We're coming down every Sunday. He's coming to my house. We'll occasionally be at his place for Random One. There's all kinds of great things coming up at the podcast. As you see, this is our first one on OBS. This is our first episode of Lightsabers and Arm Bars, a show about everything MMA to a galaxy far, far away. Definitely be tuning in every Sunday. We're going to go live at 12. I think every Sunday is that kind of the plan going forward.
Yeah.
We're going to be giving you, Scrap Chat every Sunday, Reese's Pieces every Sunday, and a little bit of W3s every Sunday. Also, throughout the week, if you want to tweet Morgan_James13, hashtag Fast Hands, hashtag Reese's Pieces, hashtag W3, anything, hashtag Scrap Chat. Any segment or show, if you give us a hashtag, we'll definitely give you a shout-out live stream on Sunday. We'll definitely touch on whatever you want us to touch on. W3 is also going to be a fan question segment, so if you put those on Twitter, definitely look forward to a shout-out there. If you haven't caught this on YouTube, this will be on YouTube later. We want to high-five everyone to our YouTube fans.
Absolutely.
Definitely catch us there. If you're watching this live on Twitch, go give it a view on YouTube. We can take every view we can get in the beginning. This is our favorite thing to do, guys. Coming to you guys and talking about the shit we love, about stuff we find cool, being authentic with you guys. Honestly, it's the greatest gift we've ever been given. I know both him and me are super pumped off this.
It's great that you can make a show about MMA fighting, a sport, and then cross it with comics. And we're just talking about hanging out, being bros. It's awesome.
Lightsabers and arm bars is the best thing ever. So, guys, like every time when we sign off here, first thing I want to say is if you haven't hit that follow button, go take a big pill of go fuck yourself and hit that right now because you already know you wanna, because this is the best place to be talking MMA, sports, cool shit, fighting, comics, the best stuff, and we'll talk about shards, puking. I mean, this is the place to be, and you already know it.
I literally puked.
The quality is only going better up. We love you guys. This is the place to be. That being said, Lightsaber and Arm Bars, episode 1, I think it was a success. How do you feel about it? I feel.
I minus my puking.
Hey, I think that added everything.
It might have added a little bit. I was a little sick.
Guys, definitely be checking out Morgan James on YouTube to be watching this. Otherwise, we'll be talking more. Patreon account coming out soon, so there'll be more opportunities to fund the channel. Other great things coming up. We got UFC 204, UFC 205, Luke Rockhold versus Jacare at a UFC Fight Night. Definitely be tuning that in. Me and Reese are also going to be doing exclusive videos on movie reviews, stuff like that going on the podcast. So come hang out with us every Sunday, and if you can't make it, check it out on YouTube. We love you guys. As we always say, as I'm about to go out, we out! We got to hit it.